pretty interesting. The 4-serve is cool.
Another Kageyama.
Okay. If this card is in the toss area, add +1 attack
another deck
to
building
Hinata, or a
session
character
right
with
now.
3 or less attack. So basically,
I did a Kurasano deck building. It was specifically
because if you have like a weak attack, let's say
Hinata Kageyama like attack deck.
Let's just
I tested it quite a bit. Like
he's at 3.
We knew it was going to be pretty strong just because in season 1, there's the most cards for the Kageyama Hinata synergy,
and you're tossing for 1.
And so it wasn't surprising that was strong, but
balanced
it wasn't like overpowered. I think there were.
So yeah, this is like a really good card.
I lost at least one game, and then one we had to end early. I'm not sure if I was going to win.
It hasn't lost, so
it was going to be really close, but I liked it. I did a teaching session today, and then
off the serve can kind of make
I want to try and do a block deck, so it's going to focus on just blocking.
It's not messing up their game plan too much, but if you're smashing 3 or 4,
so
that's good.
The reason
vanilla Daichi,
blocking is not the best because you're not getting extra cards into your hand.
Some block, so
when you're blocking, because on a receive you draw a card. When you block, you don't draw a card.
If this card is in the receive area,
that's kind of one of the
to draw
negatives. But the good thing is sometimes if people are just throwing a weak shot up, you can just throw a block. Especially if your deck focuses on blocking. So that's what I'm going to try and build now.
Drawing is really nice.
I'm gonna have to look at a lot of cards to see
it can be
what's
the
good,
but winning the set and losing it.
When you block, it just sends an attack back for 1.
The problem is if you
so it's very easy for them to receive, but they have to receive,
it's
toss,
most of the time for drawing
and attack. So they're using 3 cards and you're using 1. So the idea is that you can just
what I can tell so far,
like outvalue them with blocks.
And 1 serve.
The problem is that sometimes things are unblockable. So there are a few cards where
average stats
like quick attack,
some receive,
and then there
block. Sometimes when you get blocked and you need to receive like a weak
quick attack, if you have the Kageyama Hinata synergy,
so this is
we can see here it makes it unblockable.
I don't know
and then I know that there's a couple
in the top left corner of the card. It shows like what school their school.
There's actually a few.
Kurasano is orange, black, and white.
Other cards that you can only use 1 blocker.
And Seijo is like this kind of teal and white. So that's how you know what school there are. If you run a deck that says like a school only, like this Kurasano only, every player card in your deck has to be from that school.
We'll come across it as I'm building the deck, but I know there's at least 2 other cards where they can only use 1 blocker.
Kurasano only.
That
only counts
if you're like
cards.
playing
There's specials that
where there's a lot of like block decks,
pictures on it that
those cards can kind of counter it. Right now we're
that doesn't affect your Kurasano.
Still experimenting, like every time it's a different deck.
If this card is in the toss area, you may pay 2 guts to draw a card. Another one of those.
So there's not a lot of like running in the same thing over and over. I think like once the tournament starts running, we'll see a lot of Kageyama Hinata because just this energy is so strong.
Pay a lot of guts usually.
But yeah, let's look at a block deck. So very first card,
toss and good attack.
That will go into a block deck is this
they tie the show in
Tsukishima. It has a printed 3 block. That's the highest right now is 3. And then it also has, if this card is blocking, you may discard 1 card to add +2 to your block.
Just hit an easy shot.
So he's a 5 on his own. So if someone does have you can only use 1 blocker card.
If this card is in the toss area,
this is really good.
So
any block deck I think is going to have
Azume or Nishinoya and draw it. So there's very few where you're actually
this guy. So I'm just gonna add him right now.
Usually you're just drawing a random card. The fact that you can go through your discard pile for a very specific card is good.
Here.
And there's some good combo pieces with that. So this is a good card in certain decks.
And then let's just look at any other cards that have good blocks. So the average is
if Hinata is the top card of the attack area, guts.
I'm not sure what the average is. Probably 2. I guess there's a lot of cards that have 0 block though.
So this puts him at a 5
or 1. Especially in the starter deck. We have 0 block here.
played him.
Everyone has at least one that's kind of nice.
We could pay 3 guts.
So let's see if we can find any other 3s. So
3.
He has 3.
2.
I'm not sure. I don't remember his name from the show.
And if we look at this, if this card is a top card,
this guy
attack area guts, and you play an attacker other than Hinata, it can't be blocked. So basically,
3 printed,
but you have a
3 printed. This is a pretty good card. This card is a receiver. Really you may pay 2 guts to add +5 to your receive. So if you're trying to block, but somehow
really guts,
they make it unblockable, this guy's like a good backup for receiving.
Sad sometimes.
I'm going to consider that.
Yeah, there's a really good combo there, and it's kind of like when the defenders see like Hinata going up for quick attack and they all go after him, and then they send it to Tanaka instead. He smashes it down.
So he's a good backup.
It's pretty cool. I like the flavor.
See who else. So 3 printed 3 attack. Or block. That's good. So if you don't know how blocking works, is you can play up to 3 cards from your hand to perform a block. So if they have printed 3, you can get up to 9.
2 serve with good attack blocker.
This Tsukishima, you can get an extra 2. So like that's pretty big.
Just another
11
good
possible block.
I've noticed you really want like.
Let's keep looking. So he's pretty good too. I'm gonna keep
different characters in your deck.
I guess we're gonna lose some card
having
possibilities,
these,
but I will
cards is important.
I guess we're gonna do
a
like
more balanced one. You're sacrificing 1
so there's no
block for 2 receive.
You can mix like
and he has a 2 serve
schools in this. So we have Cross
but no special abilities.
Seijo, Nakama.
Here's another.
Those are the only ones available in season
another
1.
block for more receive. So blocking is like very, very situational.
So we'll keep looking for blockers. Maybe like 4 or 5 good blockers.
Like you can't block a serve anyway. You can't block a block anyway. So like stacking tons and tons of block.
I want some people that like
you don't really need to do. And there's better cards for it, like this special ability from the starter deck. This Tsukishima is just way better.
So kind of one of the problems I can already see is like if for whatever reason you get an unblockable and you have to send an attack back. If it's really weak, then they can start blocking and they can take the block.
Minutes. Like I'm gonna stop here. I'll go to
opportunities from you.
Next,
so we need to keep that in mind. So having some attack is good. The things that I guess I want to focus on first is printed block, having that good, and then we need card draw. Those are like the most important things. In case you are like putting up a lot of cards to block if they're really like smashing it. So let's look at cross-one only. Discard this card to add +2 to a receive or block. So in a block deck, like it's good for the +2 receive, but in a block deck, I don't know if we need it because it already has a printed of 2 block. So if you discard this card, it's same as putting it up. Well, I guess that's not true because if you can only have 1 blocker, or you can only have, or you have a really high block, like it's 10 plus, and you can only get to 9, then that would come into play. The highest attack from all our playing, I've seen 1 attack for 9, and I've seen like 1 attack for 8. And it was in the same game. The 8 happened first, and then the 9 happened. And both times, like it scored. Like if someone smashes it, it's like 6 or 7. Like 8, 9 is like super rare. Like a smash is like a 6 or 7. So I don't think I'm gonna run that card. I'd rather have higher printed. No, all right. I think I'm gonna run 4 of these. I think it's good. And if it had toss, it would be like the best thing ever. So then I guess here's the two cards I need to decide between. Honestly, like, which is better, this kind of more balanced card or this one? I'm not sure. We'll keep looking. Let's get some more like high printed block. We have 3 more 3s. Anyone with more bonuses? Let's take a look at a couple cards. If Hinata is the top card of the attack area guts and you play this as attacker, you may pay 3 guts to add +3 attack. That's huge, but not what we need. Here's a printed 3, printed 3. These are basically the same thing. Here's a 0033, 0033, 0033. Got a bunch of those. So I guess we want 4 this. Printed 3, we'll do 4 of that. We'll do 4 of this. Because it does have the backup receive, which is nice. So 4 good cards I could block. I want 1 more. Let's grab a printed 3 that maybe it does something else. Let's see. There's lots of no special printed 3. There's this like Hinata that has blocking with Hinata is pretty cool. So this is kind of a weird card. In one of my videos we talk about it, but if this card is in the toss area and the attacker has 3 or more printed attack, you may choose a new attacker from your guts. I was trying to see if that could help me in blocking, but yeah, it doesn't really. So there's nothing with 3 with a really good special ability. Let's see if there's anything with 2 with a really good special ability. So this Inishinoya. Oh, this is just a reprint. So technically you could run it. I'm not. It's like one of the few cards that they had alternate art. Oops. Oh, it's okay. What's this? So cross no only, that doesn't work. All right, so we're looking for 2 printed block with a good special. Right now, this is probably one of the strongest cards in the game, but we're not running Hinata, but the 3 serve is good too. Actually, I've been playing this card and I really like it because 4 serve is huge. I wonder if there's room to add like really strong serving. Okay, so the next best 2 block, I'm going to go with this. This is, if this card is in the toss area, you may pay 2 guts to draw a card. But I'm not going to toss, so that's not going to work. It's like a receive backup card with a draw. Actually, we haven't been using this that much, and I forgot how good it is. We've been using this instead, where you add +1 to your receive and draw a card. This is better. Draw a card, set your receive characters receive to 5. Instead of just +1, that could be +5, basically. I'm gonna throw that in probably. So another toss requirement, not that good. Receive, pay to draw. It's a good card, but doesn't really help. Attacking bonus, attacking. Oh, here's one of the cards. If this card is the top card of the attack area guts and you play an attacker other than Hinata, it can't be blocked. This is a really, really good card also. Yeah, that's a really good card, especially like coupled with this, like unblockable, and you can get up to +3 on your 2, so that's 5 unblockable, and you're only using 1 card, and guts obviously, but okay. So I feel like blocking, no, we still need. All right, we're gonna take a 3. Is there any synergies we can capitalize on or draw? No. All right, I'm just gonna go with this Azume printed 3, because there's like a lot of them that do that, nothing else. So take 4 of those. Nope. Okay, so we definitely half the deck right now, 20 cards, is just really high printed block. So we need draw. That's the next thing. And I don't want to have too much special cards, but we might have to risk it. So of these guys, no one can like toss in an emergency. He can receive in an emergency. Well, that is pretty scary. So we will pick up some like more receive, probably. Let's look at card draw. So there are 2 really, really good card draw cards. This is draw card. You may pay 2 guts from one area if you do draw another card. So we're not going to have a lot of guts, probably because we're going to be blocking. So that's possible. That's a Kageyama Synergy card. Here's another. This is a good card, but you need Kageyama again. +2 receive. +1 attack. So I'm gonna pull 4 of these because it's good. Draw a card. If you have 3 or less cards in hand, you may draw another card. It's pretty. You'd be surprised how hard this is to hit, because when you need a card, you just need a card. Like you can't wait to empty your hand. So it doesn't hit hardly ever. It draws 1 card, but it's okay. Draw a card for a +1 attack. Here's one of the Hinata Kageyama cards. So here's an interesting card I thought would never see play, but maybe we'll have a spot for it. It's if you're receiving, name a character on your opponent's turn. They must pay 1 guts to play that character. So if you're scared of them like blocking you, you can force them to pay guts to use it. That's not too helpful. All right, so pulling that is pretty good for card draw. So 4 more spots. Let's see. So here's a draw card, and it can add +1 to your toss or serve if Oikawa. So I'm not using him right now. I don't think I'm going to throw him in just for that. Let's pick these up because this cycles a card and it can help us receive if there's an emergency, and our receives are really bad. So, and having the guts, it might be pretty difficult. That'll, I guess, help with receives also, and card draw. This is probably this one, the best like receive. There is. Because it's a 4, and then when it's sitting on top, if you have someone other than Nishinoya, they get a +2. It's huge. That card was saving me a ton in one of the decks I had. Okay, so let's. This is pretty good for blocks. Card draws is not that good, but I feel like I'll hit on this a lot. Let's see if we can do anything fancy on like attacking back. So the best, like, actually my attacks aren't too bad. If I can toss though. So I'm looking for some 3 attack, because that's the highest printed attack. And then I want like a 1 toss, so I can at least get 4 attack down. Like if I'm only attacking for 2, it's just going to get stuffed every time. I need to at least attack for like 4. So how can we do that and not pay guts? Because I'm not going to be doing it very often. Oh, I just kind of noticed. I don't know how the rarity works. Like we're just getting like the full sets, so this is actually pretty good because all the others, there's like 3 other versions. It's a 0033, and this is a 1033. So it's like tiny bit better. Oh. So I hate using this card in like every deck, but it's so good. But no, okay, I'm not going to. I want something with 3 attack and 1 toss. Is there anything that has 3 attack, 1 toss? No. Oh, yes. Here we go. 3 attack, 1 toss. This card is awesome. Cool. That's kind of exciting because I didn't even know that was a thing or ever thought I would need it. But it exists. That's pretty cool. And 1 block. I don't know. Okay, so let's get a 3. Oh, yeah, I just was thinking what else do we need? So let's go over what we have. 8. So we have 2 more, 8 more cards, 2 more spots if we just do full 4s. Printed block 3, 3, 3, 3. This can boost our receive or block. So it's kind of some backup receiving. Here's some more backup receiving cards. So we should be covered on that. And then attacking if we have to is pretty weak. And card draw is pretty weak. So anything that could possibly give our card draw and attack, and so it's going to be this guy. Because we can pay guts to draw a card if we have to. Getting 2 guts into the toss, it's not impossible. And his stats are pretty good. Anyone else? So there's another one that does similar. This is receiving. So do I need more help in receiving, or do I need more help in attack? Actually, we're going to run this because we don't want them blocking. If for whatever reason, it'll take 2 turns for it to get cycled up, but this is a good attack card because even if my attack's only 1, if they can't block, it forces the receive. So this is like having a 4 attack. So how it works is I'll have to have attacked previously with this card, but whatever card I put on top will be good. So that's actually a good pickup. 4 more cards. Card draw, I'm still kind of weak on. So I guess I'm going to pick up this card. Draw a card. You may pay 2 guts from any one area. If you do, draw another card. It's possible I can have more guts. And that way, I just don't want to rely on it too much because ideally I block every time and my guts is empty the whole game. That's the perfect scenario. So I will finish this and show it, and then I'll kind of explain it. How are we on time? 30 minutes. Another pretty long one. The other one was 36 minutes. The other deck building one I've done so far, so. That's pretty long, but I guess maybe not. I don't know. I'm trying to remember like other card games building decks. Okay. So here's the deck. I'm going to move it into the it's kind of hard to see. Okay, so here's the deck. It's a blocking deck. We'll start with the like key card. This one. If this card is blocking, you may discard one card to add +2 to your block. So there's a couple cards that you can only use one blocker, so this is good for that. Next, we just were looking for printed 3 block because that's the highest. So 4 of him, 4 of the Azume, 4 of this guy. He is a backup because if this card is in the receive area, you may pay 2 guts to add +5 to your receive. We're going to have very few guts, but there's a chance we, for whatever reason, we do. So he's like going to be really good in that situation. Otherwise, he's pretty garbage because he only has 1 attack. So that's my main blockers. So bonus blocking card is this one. Crossbow only. It does not work. Gotta cut this. So we'll switch it out. Let's go. I was looking for a card that had 3 attack and 1 toss, because if I do for whatever reason have to attack, it needs to be at least 4. Because 3 is pretty like, if someone sends a 3 attack, I throw 1 blocker up and it messed up 3 other cards 3 for 1. So you need at least 4. So having 1 toss is good and 3 attack is what I was looking for. I think this is the only card that has it, so I threw that in. If this card is the top card of the attack area guts and you play an attacker other than Hinata, it can't be blocked. So if he attacked previous turn and I wasn't able to block, I'm having to receive, toss, and attack again. If he's at the top and I play a different attacker like him, that's unblockable. So even though it's 3, let's say, unblockable is good because I don't want them blocking and making me waste 3 cards again. Like that's the whole point of the deck. So having it unblockable is like having a big attack because it forces them to receive, toss, and attack back at me, and then hopefully I can just block it again. So I'm running 12 special cards. That's like kind of the sweet spot. Like most of us are, or most of the time, like our decks are closer to 16, between 13 and 16. So 12 is good. It seems like too many. Just this is like a really solid draw possibility to draw 2. It at least draws 1. If you have 3 or less cards in hand, you may draw another card. So it's just solid. If you pull it off, this is another, just it straight up draws a card. You may pay 2 guts from 1 area if you do draw another card. I doubt I'll ever get a pay guts to draw for this, but it might happen. At the very least, it cycles. And this one, it also cycles, and it's like a backup receive, because set your receive character's receive to 5. If it's already 5 or more, set it to 7 instead. So this just gets me to 5 in those emergencies when I have to receive. So that's 36 cards. We need to get to 40. Or yeah. So he is getting dropped. He was backup receive, basically. So we need something else for backup receive, and probably not a special. Let's see. So something with good receive and toss is what I want now. Because I have tons of blockers. That's quite a bit. I don't have, it's not tons. Does anyone have receive and block? That's what I want, receive and block. Because, well, I'm setting it to 5 anyway. Yeah, we need someone with like really good receive and block. This is one of my favorite receive cards because it draws for guts, which I love. This is another one of my favorite receive cards. He's printed 5 receive, which is nice, but he does nothing else. And there's a Nishinoya, same thing. That's a cool looking card. This is pretty good. 3 receive and man. I feel like if they send a okay. I need at least a 4. Man, it's a little scary. No, because I'm going to be blocking. Why would I, if it's unblockable? So if let's just think of a scenario. So it's unblockable. I don't need backup received because I'm just going to be hopefully blocking every time. And if it's unblockable, it's just going to get through. Unless it's like less than 5, I can use that. That card was kind of perfect. So could I drop these 2 guys to make it cross-funnel only? But I do like that card. So that's kind of the question. I guess there could be 2 versions. The cross-funnel only, where I cut these 2 and put in just some more vanilla, like put in these 2 guys. Let's think about it. What am I losing out on? Backup receive, but see, both these guys have backup receive. That's tough. So basically, the question is, do I want to sometimes receive and then send it back? Or do I just want to all in on blocking? Because I can use, no, that's not. No. I'm not. I'm gonna keep it this way. And I'm not sure, like, I think this is not a cross-funnel card. I'd have to lose that also. Well, and so there's like a few things that have been translating rules that I just like haven't figured out yet. So right now, I think officially in the English rules is the character has to be, if it's like cross-funnel only or Nekoma or Seijo only, it's all the characters. It doesn't include special cards because special cards don't have like a school affiliation. As far as I can tell. Well, special, yeah. So I'm going to stick with the backup receiving. So this is a great backup receive card. It cycles and gets +1. Who would that work on though? Not him, not him, not him, not him. Okay, so I'll splash. 2 of him, so that would set him to 5. Or set him to 7 if I comboed it. So if there's a really big unblockable. It's such a dead card though. I can discard them to feed this guy. Okay, so this is the deck. We'll go with this. I'm gonna like pause the recording here, and then label it, and then I'm gonna pick back up on the recording to separately go over it, or I'll quickly go over it. So yeah, 3 block, I can discard 1. It'll probably be discarding this or this, 2 ofs, to give him 5 block. So we have a possibility for 11 block, which is crazy. Just good stat block, good stat block. This is a backup. Receive, he can be a 5 by paying 2 bits. This is to help out with my attacks. If this card is a top card of the attack area guts, and you play an attacker other than Hinata, it can't be blocked. So if for whatever reason I attacked and got him at the top of the guts, my next attack would be unblockable, which is the goal. If I can have unblockable attacks, it's really good because I'll get smoked if people are blocking on me. Because as soon as I get blocked on and I have to toss or receive, toss, and attack, then they can start blocking more. And then I can't block back, which is the whole point of the deck. So yeah, okay. Just good card draw right here. Cycle, possibly good card draw, and just backup receive for the emergencies. Nothing too crazy. I only have, everyone has serve except the Nishinoya and this guy, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. Yeah, so this is the block deck. I'll pause it here and then I'll pick it up for like a shorter version.